Okay.
So everyone stop talking about butt chugging and butt guns.
Oh, I thought we were talking about you.
Hey.
That was
You went for the low hanging fruit there.
I fucking did. I turned into you.
Welcome to the Beacon House Podcast, recorded live in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Grant, you stay away from my grandmother.
Your grandma's all mine. No grandma can resist these charms. She gonna feed me till I'm full. You can take that any way you want.
I only have one grandmother left. Please don't do it. Oh, hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Beacon House Podcast. Grant's back.
Hey, ladies and
The
gentlemen.
blood
Hopefully
dad
these
returns.
episodes don't happen back to back, or that'll be kind of weird.
The original Blood Dad coming back at you.
Blood Dad. That's my new DJ name.
DJ Blood Dad.
DJ Blood Dad.
Oh, and you're just dressed up like a tampon.
Whoa. Hey, whoa. That got carnal.
Why is that
Whoa,
carnal?
whoa.
That's a natural part of life. It's
Yeah.
a beautiful thing.
It happens
Sometimes people
it happens
bleed up
once
out
a month,
there,
and I hide in my room
orifices.
for it.
Well, thanks for letting us know how you feel about tampons,
We're going to
Hunter.
lose so many subscribers this episode.
Yeah, well, they have to pay more for it. Anyway, so Grant, how's it going?
It's going well. It's going well. Speaking of tampons, did you know you can soak them in alcohol and put them in your butt? It's the easier way to butt chug.
Oh,
Courtesy
That's
of Knoxville,
that's
Tennessee.
for the safety of the people out there.
you know how upsetting it is
Safety.
when people, I think we talked about this before we recorded, when people on other podcasts in other parts of the world go butt chugging, and someone's like, what's butt chugging? Well, this frat in Tennessee, and it's like, God damn it.
We'll never live it down.
We'll never
Amazing.
live it down. Some
Amazing.
dude shoved a bottle of vodka up his butt.
We have Peyton Manning and butt chugging.
I mean,
That's the only two things.
I just want to reach
Fuck
out
Dolly
there.
Parton.
I just want to reach out there because it's 2020 and it's really, we're moving towards an era of like greater acceptance. And I just want to say to any of the guys that were caught in that butt chugging event, like, you would love to interview you on the air
Oh,
for Beacon House.
dude.
If any of those guys,
We would?
I want to shake their
if you
hands.
want a chance, if you want to, I mean,
Are you hoping they haven't washed them since then?
No, I just, like, they're heroes.
Can you imagine, like, if they did that and poured it in their butt and then someone farted and
It's
just
like-
shotgun vodka
I
out
hear it's
everywhere?
good for
like-
your
like-
bacterial gut health.
You shut
Those guys,
up.
those guys
that's
are
known
heroes.
as the
It's
butt.
like,
That's the butt cannon. It goes into the mouths of your 5 friends across the room on the couch.
Oh, God.
that's why they're the heroes, man. It's
Yeah.
like
It's alcohol.
firefighters, like police officers, and then like the butt chuggers, like
Bombs
right here.
away.
Like right below. Bombs away. Jaeger bombs away.
Jaeger bombs away.
Oh, God.
Jaeger-
Butt gun.
Off
I'm
to a
gonna
great
throw, I'm
start.
going to throw up. I'm going to throw up.
I used to play bass for butt gun.
You play bass?
No. Anyway, so what do you guys? What's up today, you guys? Welcome to the Beacon House Podcast. Butt gun.
We're going to hop right into the topic because I have something
Blood
interesting.
Dad 4. Butt gun.
But I wasn't gonna make the blood dad joke again, but you did it.
Can't stop making it.
Blood Dad featuring
I
butt gun.
haven't.
Neither can he, apparently, the guy who makes them.
I had something interesting happen to me, and I want to talk about it.
Okay.
So everyone stop talking about butt chugging and butt guns.
Oh, I thought we were talking about you.
Hey.
that was
You went for the low hanging fruit there.
I fucking did. I turned into you.
Well, there's the blurb.
The
that's a good one.
5 minutes
Convention.
in. Fuck you, Hunter.
That low hanging fruit. I'm going to soak it in vodka and shoot it out of my butt at all my friends.
I heard girls can do that with ping pong balls.
called the fruit
Anyways,
basket.
stop it.
Copacabana.
Oh, God damn it.
I feel like the catcher for the Braves when that kind of stuff happens. So fast. Just,
All right.
I want to talk about something.
Lay it on his case. What's going on, buddy? What's up?
I had someone ask me if I hated him.
So, okay.
Do you?
No.
Well, answer
And
the
here's
question.
all right. So here's the here's the thing.
That was a good discussion. Yes, next.
I had a friend of a friend who we've hung out recently, and that mutual friend of us two approached me, and they were like, do you hate me?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And they're like, "Well, when we hang out, you don't seem to like acknowledge me or like talk to me like you do talk to him." And it got really weird and awkward and uncomfortable. And finally I was just like, look, I was like, I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but I don't know you enough to care to hate you. And they were like, oh, that's harsh. And I was like, no. I was like, it's the opposite of harsh. I'm being honest. I don't know you enough to either like or hate you to care about that. I was like, you're a cool person to hang around, But I was like, I'm
You're
not
a
going
side
to put the effort into, like, I only see you like once every 6 months. I'm not going to put that effort into getting to know you to care if I hate or like you. I just enjoy when your company when you're around. But I know this motherfucker from way back, and so that's why I treat them differently.
So they're just kind of like.
And so I want to talk about friends.
They're kind of like
some of that
jealous.
Casey
Then?
love.
That's weird. That
'Cause-
seems
'cause I also
that's a bizarre situation.
It is a really weird situation.
Have you guys ever done anything like that?
Was I being a
ask if
dick?
Someone hates me.
Like someone that you barely know, someone you only see every 6 months. Have you ever actually? I feel like it's weird and completely out of. I don't feel. I feel like
I think
that's,
that person was very insecure.
But for somebody, if you really only see this person every 6 months,
Maybe.
for them to come up and do some kind of an audit on your feelings towards them seems fucking bizarre.
Well, it also
There's
the fact
alcohol
that-
involved, so that
the-
might have
the
been-
fact
that probably
that-
got
the
their
fact that he
inhibitions
can
up.
talk about it, and like that person potentially listen to it and maybe not find out or not listen to it, just makes me think like that they're even like less than an acquaintance.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I don't
It
know.
was strange.
I
It was
wouldn't put a
very
whole lot
strange.
of. I wouldn't put a whole lot of stuff. Did it bother you? Did it bother you to hear him
Yeah.
say
No,
that?
it didn't bother me, and it brought up a lot of other stuff. Like I had I guess about 6 or 7 years now. I had somebody in my life 6 or 7 years ago, and we were really good friends. And at one point, it got to be too much to be their friend, and so I was just like, I don't want to be friends with you anymore. And it got to the point where, like, a couple years after that, they'd still text me, be like, I don't understand why you don't want to be friends, but, Merry Christmas or whatnot. And they'd text me these big things. And I had one of our mutual friends approach me and be like, hey, why don't you hang out with him anymore? Why aren't you friends with him? He says you hate him. I was like, I don't hate him. I was like, I just don't want to be friends with him. It's too much work to be friends with that person anymore. I was like, I have no animosity toward him. I wish him the best. I just don't want to be around him.
You just think differently than people. Like you're less attached to the
Am I a
conventional
sociopath?
emotional.
No, you're logical.
Oh,
Yeah, that's just the same as going. Hey man, I got to go. See you later. I got stuff to do. Like you know what I
Where are
mean?
you
Like,
going?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. As soon as it's, well, what do you have to do? None of your fucking business.
Yeah.
I'm a grown ass man.
I
got
gotta
stuff
go
to do.
home and drink
Yeah.
a bottle of wine and watch 12 episodes of anime, and you're not invited.
Wait, yeah, you're gonna watch anime? Well, yeah, I'm an introvert. I want to decompress.
Which one?
Fuck
You
off.
don't need to know.
I've been with you for 5 hours.
well, no, I just
No.
find it. I find it
That's a little
weird.
harsh, but,
like,
You're just like opening a new can.
I find it weird if you don't converse with people, they automatically just assume you hate. Why do you hate me? Why do you hate?
That
I don't
thing's
hate
social
you.
media, man.
I just don't care.
Well, and I don't assume that people think that. I kind of, to me, that's kind of a decision somebody has to make for themselves. I don't. If I felt like that about everybody that I didn't have time to talk to, that I was in proximity to, I'd go crazy.
Sure.
And I think anybody would. Like
Yeah.
if I was worried, if I was sitting here, like let's say we're sitting here talking to you, and we had 2 or 3 guests in the room, and they're like sitting right over there or something, and we're doing the podcast. Like I don't have time to worry about what they think. I don't have time to worry about are they mad that we're all talking or
Keep checking in.
checking in. Yeah.
exhausting.
Who fucking has time for that?
No one.
And who has to be the recipient of that? Like
Yeah.
there's some point people got to get over that and just do what you do. I think.
Well,
It's manufactured responsibility.
Yeah.
I completely agree.
And the thing is, the friend that I dropped 6 or 7 years ago. Well, I don't want to give any names out, but
Sure.
that friend, the mutual friend, asked, they're like, "Do you hate them? Is that why you don't want to hang out with them?" And it's like, I don't want to waste my time having negative feelings towards somebody I don't want to interact with anymore.
Yeah.
I was like, so no, I don't hate them. I have no feeling towards them whatsoever. They are a stranger to me now.
Hate is strong. Maybe
And they're like,
dislike.
and people are like, "Oh, that's really hateful." And I'm like, "No, it's not meant to be hateful. It's just, it's a cut of emotion. There's no emotion there at all. It's that person's gone out of my life now. We have the memories that we had. We don't have any new ones because I want nothing to do with them."
It's like having a cute kitten, and then when it grows up and shits everywhere, you don't like it anymore.
No, I still love cats.
No, you're wrong there.
I had a cat pee all over my bed because she had potty problems, and I had to put her down. She's 18 years old, but I still loved her to death.
Yeah.
Oh, evidently.
But that's an animal. I'll love an animal. I'll love any animal I first meet.
Oh, yeah.
If an animal went, "Do you hate me?" I'd be like, "Fuck no."
There's animals I hate.
Humans suck though.
I feel the same way. There's a bunch of like stray kittens outside my house that I take care of. I'll stand out in the cold with them at night and feed them and just stand out there and hang out with them. I wouldn't do that for a person.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say, if I found some kittens outside in the cold, if I'm not warm, those cats, they might just die, because that's just the way life is, bro.
That's cool,
Do you
because
have
you know
some
what? If a
selection?
cat asked me for $1, I'd give him 10.
I don't give money to
That's a
anybody.
Right
good
now,
word,
there's going to
too.
be all these like homeless people downtown wearing cat outfits. It's sort of like the cast of the movie
Oh,
Cats.
we're gonna make the homeless people furries.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, at least they'll be warm.
Oh damn!
But no, I had that interaction. I thought it'd be interesting to share because that interaction led me to like this weird thought process that kind of like put me in. That's one of the things that led me to that Facebook post I made that you commented on, where it's also where people like, I find it interesting that people put their fears and insecurities on your creative endeavors.
Yep.
And I can pull it up just to make sure I get it right.
And my comment, for the record, the comment that I posted, I wanted to be...
Well, I gotta get through Frying Pan's 19 shares of that New Year's thing that she posted.
I wanted to be...
Shout out Frying Pan.
No, shout out.
Yeah, shout out. I wanted to be way, way more harsh than what I typed on that.
No, I mean... Well, so here's the Facebook post.
Choosing the right words is hard.
I thought I thought I'd try to be like kind of funny, but really, if somebody has an opinion about something you do, I mean, you can always go, well, okay, thanks. If it's somebody you respect, if you make it, we made a song or something like that, and you do the best you can, you realize the minute you show it to anybody, you're putting on a chopping block. So I will say that, anything you create, if you intend to share it with anybody, be prepared for it to get picked apart.
Oh, be prepared to get shit on.
But also be prepared that when you shit on it, for me not to agree.
Yeah, or to just
especially if you don't give anything any
constructive.
Yeah.
Well, and also, who the fuck are you? And what are you doing? And like, if you do something and you're satisfied with it and it meets your standards, fuck everybody else.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like I've had people approach me that are mutual friends, and I'd be like, oh, what do you think about the podcast? They're like, oh, I really like podcasts. I just don't really care for yours. Like, I like this one because they do this and that. Like, you should do more like that. And I'm like, oh, how's your podcast going?
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, I don't have a podcast. Well, all right then.
Well, and it's like, okay, thanks for your opinion. I appreciate it. But if somebody really starts tearing you down, and go, well, I just blah, blah, blah. I think you should do this. I think you should do that. Like, I think you should get out of my fucking face.
Yeah.
Depending on the dynamic. I mean, if it's somebody you really look up to and respect, then you better fucking listen to them. But if
you were already going to key their car and they're going to talk shit to you, then it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So I've already got an entire bag of sugar in their gas tank. Like, all right, let it happen.
I posted. I find it.
I was on my way to egg your house right now when you gave me all this constructive criticism, dick face.
I put bologna on your car. Yep. I find it insane how so many people project their own fears and insecurities onto your creative endeavors and try to bring it down to their level by saying things like, "To be honest, it's not that great. This other person does it better. I'm going to school for this, and you'll never make it without my path. You'll never make money on something like this. Like, find a hobby that pays better." And then you should find a different hobby that's not so unoriginal.
See, those three examples to me sound extremely intrusive. Mm-hmm. Those don't just sound like somebody going, well, blah, blah, blah. Everybody's got an opinion. Everybody wants to tell you, well, you need to go work with this guy. You need to go work with that guy.
That reeks of insecurity.
It doesn't sound very well adjusted.
I know a ton of artists that get the whole, well, you should go to school for that. And, and I know really great artists too. Like, I feel like one of our really good friends and one of my favorite artists ever, Hannah Isasaki, who's been on this podcast and a dear friend of mine, and like she does amazing art, and she's still got a lot of people that are like, well, you should go to school for art, and she's like, man, I'm already working as an artist.
Not only that, why waste your money on school? School nowadays is like, there's so much debt.
Necessary.
It's so much debt you get yourself into, and then you get out of school and someone goes, well, you need 5 years of experience. That's why, well, I did 4 years of school, and they're like, nah, school doesn't count as experience. And so then you just have this debt, and then you have to work as a bartender.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that. So there's different paths, and this is such a polar. I mean, this is a very vast topic, but I think the whole point is if somebody's really, really digging into you about your creativity and you're doing the best you can, like take what's useful. You might go, fuck, man. So like for instance, I think I've said this before on this podcast. My friend Mike D, who's a phenomenal studio engineer, producer, sound engineer for TV shows and everything, used to be my roommate, and he said one time, he goes, well, the thing about this is like if one person calls you a horse, tell them to go fuck themselves. 2 people call you a horse, tell them to go fuck themselves. If 3 people call you a horse, you better find a saddle. So at some point, if you keep hearing the same thing over and over again, you probably...
Maybe something needs to change.
Yeah. But up until then, if somebody's just being... And I think it's how they say it. If somebody go, dude, I loved, like, for instance, like the Burn the City video. Obviously, it's not perfect. And if we would have had more time and a bigger budget, it could have been better and blah, 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 blah. But I think it's good for what it is. And everybody's going to have an opinion. And people that see it could still tell me all the time, well, oh, man, it would have been really cool if you could have done this. I wish it would have done this. Or blah,
take
blah.
notes.
Well, that's it. So you go, okay.
The next one will be better.
It's also the first time I've ever done something like that.
Right. Well, thanks for your suggestions, blah, 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 blah. But if we consistently heard one thing, like blah, blah, blah.
Lighting was terrible.
Like, Hunter, dye your hair, quit looking like Edward Snowden. Got it.
Yeah. Right. And actually, just as many people that had suggestions of the video had suggestions about the audio too. Yeah. Like they were like, there's something weird with somebody told me, they go, I feel like there was something weird with the mastering. And I was like, there's not really any mastering. It's just, you just don't like the way it sounded,
Yeah.
So there's little stuff like that. I think a lot of people were thrown off that anyway, we'll get into specifics later, but again, constructive criticism can be very valuable, I think, if the person's not being a fucking asshole.
My favorite one that I get criticism wise, and it comes with podcasting and doing like the video game Let's Plays. And it's people going, "Oh, it's so saturated. Why do you even do that? Like no one's ever going to see your stuff." And it's like, I don't do it because I want gobs and gobs and millions of people to see it. I want to do it because I enjoy playing video games, making Let's Plays, and then editing and putting out for people to see.
Yeah, and man, the argument that other people are doing it is not a good reason to stop.
Yeah.
I've been getting that ever since I was like fucking 15. I remember I started taking guitar lessons when I was 15 years old. And then some friend of my mom's who had been a guitar player and like, he said something, he goes, "Oh man, you're wasting your money on that. Guitar players are a dime a dozen, you know?" And I was like, "Thanks a lot, asshole." Like, you know, like I just started this. Like, thanks for being encouraging, you know? But I told my guitar instructor, who was a guy from Berkeley, and I go, "Dude, this guy said guitar players are a dime a dozen." And he goes, "Oh, wow." And I said, "What do you think about that?" He goes, "Well, I think it depends on what you do with your dime."
Damn.
And I was like, and I knew right then, man, I'm never going to let this be about anybody else. Like I'm going to, I've always thought about what can I do with my dime? I don't worry about that guy or this other guy or what he does. Everybody's naturally inclined, and everybody's hand in things is different too.
That's true.
Our friend Jody, who shout out, she's got her stuff now hanging up at it's all over Central Depot right now. All her photographs. It's at Coffee and Chocolate right now. She's about to do an art show. She's got something over at the Museum of Art. She's really, really doing it.
Yeah.
And she had said that too, and she complimented the video that you made for us tremendously. She came by and saw me, and she was just like, "I think it's amazing. I can't believe Casey did that. Like, it's incredible. Like, he needs to. Like, I can't wait to see the next thing he does and the next thing he does. And like, I'm really excited about him as a director."
And that's what I want to surround my people with. Like, I want to be surrounded by people like that.
Well, she said she's trying to encourage other friends to just do art, even if all you do is get it hanging up at like Postmodern. Which, shout out, Hannah's stuff is hanging up there right now, by the way.
I want to get one of those dick ornaments.
I mean, it's
man.
like with art, if you like doing it, you like the process, you like the way it looks, it doesn't matter if you're getting something material or
Back from it,
ephemeral back from it. Like you don't need to be recognized or anything. For instance, I like to paint. It's not something high on my list of things I do. It's not like a huge hobby, but I like doing it sometimes. And that's fine for me. But like if someone were to come and say like, "Oh, you paint as a hobby like once a month?" That's stupid. Like, why do you do that? It's a waste of time. That's like such an asshole thing to say, and that kind of like moves up and is even worse whenever they're like trying to make a living doing that kind of thing too.
Absolutely.
And that's, I mean, like, I just want to surround I want constructive criticism, of course, but I want to surround myself with people who are like, "Hey, I also do this thing. Let's discuss it." It's not like who's better than the other. It's we sit down and we go over each other's projects and be like, compare notes and make each other better, and not try to be like, it's not a contest. No one's winning first place.
Exactly.
Find common ground with someone you may not like know really well, even.
I mean, I just want to be able to sit down with someone who also edits videos like Brandon Lee. I know he only does it as on the side as like a fun thing, but I would love to sit down with him and be like, "Oh, this is what I learned how to do," and him be like, "Oh, well, you can do this, this, and that." And that to me is constructive criticism when I'm being like, well, "Actually, that looks like shit, so don't do that." And I'm like, "What should I do?" No, it just looks like shit. Like that doesn't help.
You're not, yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't help anything.
Right.
What would you do different? Well, I don't really know. I just
Exactly.
I just know that what I see in the movies, and that's not what I see in the movie, so I don't like it.
make it look like The Revenant. Just make it look good. It's like that's not.
Well, and this whole thing kind of comes back to people's natural tendency to either build up or tear down. And I feel like you've heard about the theory about the lobster tank, you know, and this is a very universal analogy. This goes to anybody that's kind of starting to crawl up out of like anybody that's reaching for anything. You're trying to get better at painting, like you said, or writing or music or art or video editing or any, just your job. Somebody that's maybe trying to like get healthy, and instead of like going out, they're trying to go to the gym or whatever.
Make better coffee.
Anything what people do. Other people immediately, it's like you see that tank of lobsters, and the ones that get near the top, the others grab them and drag them back down. And it's kind of that's the analogy I've used a lot for people that are just, that there's something about it. They get insecure when they see you trying to do something. And then they freak out, and the people that are very insecure just want to pull you back, and they do that by being discouraging.
We live in a culture that thrives and encourages conformity, I think.
Yeah.
I think that if you challenge the status quo, you are looked at as a fool. And I think that's just more or less a remnant of the generation that came before us.
Really?
Before you guys.
Say more about that.
So like, it has to do with like a parenting style. People don't really, the generation before you guys, I'll say that because I'm technically one below you, didn't build up their children as much. I feel like it was more like they wanted to set them up the same way they did. Like their parents kind of made them live a hard life and set them up for like a self-made type thing, and they wanted to do the same for their kids. And that just didn't work in this new age.
Yeah.
It's much more about creativity and being who you are now than it ever has been. And I think that some people miss the point on that when they raise their kids.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. Like that's fantastic because growing up, don't get me wrong, I love my parents to death, of course.
Same.
They're my parents. However, growing up in high school and early, like right out of high school, it was very much go to college, get a good paying job, make a living.
Yeah.
And when I didn't do that, it was I felt like I was disappointing them.
Yeah.
And now that I'm 30, I have a very good job in hospitality. I didn't go to school, and then I'm doing this on the side. They've never been bigger fans. They're
Right
my
on.
biggest fans.
So sometimes
Because they came to the realization, and even my brother, all of them came to the realization of like, it's a new era. It's a new time. You can do this and make a living on it. Chase it. Do it.
right. Well, and it makes you happy, and they realize that your happiness
Yeah.
is a higher priority than
You're happy
than
and
ever
you're
before.
taken care of. I think that's the thing that people
Yeah,
struggle
taken
with there.
care
Like
of.
before,
That's
you
a good way to
couldn't
put it.
Yeah.
handle yourself kind of with the way the society was built up, and now it's entirely possible to, whether or not you make money on your hobbies, you can do them, get money, yay, get money, not, still yay. And if your bills are paid for and you're happy, then what is there to complain about?
Yeah.
Right, and that just leads back, to the and there's so much emphasis, sometimes misplaced emphasis on people making sure that their children are going to be able to take care of themselves when it's arguably easier to do now. I know that there's a lot of like outcry or whatever about like raise the minimum wage and other stuff that people don't really understand how economics work, but it's more or less it comes from a place of like that obligation that's been instilled in them from a young age to excel at things that they're not necessarily good at or are passionate about, which sucks. No one should have to live a life like that.
And I agree with you. I think it's generational because even going back a couple of generations, like you people that were alive in like the 1920s and the 1930s and that kind of thing, like there was so much poverty and there was so much like just like 50 guys in the street trying to get one job, and I mean stuff like
So
that.
competitive,
Super competitive, and people weren't thinking about things like I'm going to start a podcast, I'm going to start
No
a business.
time.
They were literally just like, I've got to be able to buy a can of soup for my family somehow, and like it was different.
The hustle was different.
The hustle was 100% different. And so when they have kids, obviously you got to, the only thing they're thinking is teach your kids how to take care of themselves.
Yep.
Teach your kids how to somehow crawl out of poverty. And then generationally, the same thing kind of happens like that. And
Trickles
the
down.
world changes while all that's going on. But
Infinitesimally, like
Yeah.
over time. I said that right? Infinitesimally?
you did.
I guess. I don't know.
It's a $7 word.
Break the thesaurus out.
There it is. Been a long time.
Let me flip through these pages. Yeah, I didn't know that the friendship conversation would go this far and this deep down the rabbit hole, but I'm kind of glad we're here.
Yeah, I don't mind it a bit.
nice.
That's why some
Cozy.
people are easy to be friends with and some people aren't.
I think that's how Grant got your grandma.
Because I knew that generational gap was not going to be a problem.
Oh my God!
You savage.
It's so gross.
You savage bastard.
generation.
Such a nice
Gap.
lady. You leave her alone.
She's only nice when you're paying attention.
Damn.
That's all right. I'm dating Hunter's mom.
He is.
Well, son.
Nailed it.
Hey, Dad.
Literally.
God, again.
Man.
Hey, Diana, call me.
Oh, God.
She listens too. I know she does. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Love you.
She's going to text me, hey, Hunter, what's Casey's number?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
no,
it's okay.
I
She told me she didn't love me, so it's fine.
I came up with this. So you've met one of Hunter's brothers, Adam.
Yes.
The other brother, Roger. All right. I've come up with a great plan, and I think Hunter spoiled it, but that's fine. I'll just wait a year until they forget about it. I want to have Diana, Hunter's mom, come into town and be like, "Hey guys, let's go out to dinner. I'm bringing my boyfriend. I'm dating somebody now," and then be like, "Oh, cool. Like, let's meet him." And then I show up.
Amazing.
And I'm going 110%, like holding hands,
The whole dinner.
kissing on the cheek, like the whole thing,
Giggling, poking the shoulder.
Yes, going 110% in, and just be like, and even like having her like say things to me, and I'm like, "Oh, you stop it," and like just going all in. Hunter said his mom's in, like she's like, "I'd do that." I'm so excited.
Man.
My mom's real mischievous, dude. If she,
Shut one of the-
knew it
shut-
would work, she'd probably do it.
You shut Hunter down on a conversation, be like, listen to your mother.
Oh god. This whole thing's fake. Just get up. And
I don't know how soon it would happen, but I would get my ass kicked by your
Oh,
brothers.
dude.
Yeah.
It'd be worth it.
I'm bizarre. I'm talking to Hunter right now. I'm bizarre at how okay with this you are.
No, here's the thing.
In the back of your mind, is
I've
there
had
not
time
at
for this to
least a
marinate.
fear that, like, holy shit, what if it takes?
No. There's,
What if they're
I've had
both
time for
fucking
this to
into? What
marinate.
if Casey becomes my stepdad?
Casey ran this by
This is
me
like a Disney movie now.
Casey
Yeah.
ran this by me like 2 weeks ago. And
Hunter, you're a
it made me-
disappointment.
It made me really uncomfortable at
Good
first.
practice.
But it was still funny. And as time has gone on, we've gotten to talk about it more. I think it'd be fucking hilarious.
Oh, so he's slowly becoming more on board with him becoming his dad.
Yeah, he's
No,
super.
no, not that part.
Oh, he
no.
won't admit it, but that's the first step.
That's to me the same thing. Hunter's
I'll make that
becoming
drive.
super progressive about this.
What, Cleveland? Athens?
I mean, think about it. He could be a pretty dependable dad to Hunter, I think.
Yeah.
And he's got a real sensible shirt.
a real
on.
job.
Yeah,
Sensible shirt.
he's got an extremely masculine beard.
Yeah.
I wear flannel.
Dude, he's totally going to marry your mom, and then
Oh
you guys
my
are going to be a
God.
weird family, and he's going to allow you to become gender fluid.
I'm going to give you another little brother.
You're gonna be.
Still smiling your way through it there, buddy? Still smiling.
I'm frowning now.
You're gonna.
You know what's
yeah,
funny?
it's okay, Casey. You're gonna have a
This
new
isn't-
uncle later.
This isn't the only thing. For the last year, anytime Hunter's around and I hug Libby, I always wink at Hunter. Like I hug Libby a little longer than I should, and I'm always like, "Oh, I love you," and I wink at Hunter. And it at first it was funny, and now I think it's starting to bother him.
Casey, you're a
No, it
dirty,
doesn't
you're a
bug
dirty
me.
bastard.
It doesn't.
He literally is just like his life goal is to just interrupt relationships. And
Someone needs to get me a girlfriend before I cause him real harm.
cause some real. That's like the weirdest threat ever. Someone better get me a girlfriend. I'm about to cause some real harm.
Grant,
Like you're like the dude from Postal, like the
DJ
Postal
Blood
movie. DJ Blood.
does Casey's grandma have any friends that he could date?
No, but he's gonna get a new uncle soon
That's right.
or aunt. We don't know yet.
Oh, man.
When do you find out?
January. Oh wait, soon.
Fucking idiot.
I thought we was in the old year. We in the new year.
We is.
We is in the new year.
We is in that new year.
All right. Well,
damn.
thanks for listening to Beacon House, everybody.
No, it's not over yet.
Love your friends.
We have like 15 minutes.
Expand your family.
Let's
yeah.
talk about World War III.
Oh yeah.
It's
Holy
not
shit.
happening. It's not happening.
I'm pretty excited to.
Our power grid's going to be shut down.
Man, I tell you, it's weird to see all these memes about it because it's totally. I think it's totally scary. Like, I don't.
No, it is scary.
I don't necessarily think it's going to happen, but
I don't. I think if it did happen, it wouldn't be a big deal.
Part of my nihilistic brain's like, bring it on.
Well, think about it. We beat them once. Just saying.
Who?
Anyone we've gone to war with.
yeah, like there's a point where I go, what the fuck are they going to do? Seriously, like, what are they going to do? But then again, it's not okay. We did go over there and fucking kill a bunch of people.
No. That's the thing.
And we did it without a-
didn't.
That was
We
win.
didn't.
That was win number one.
Well, we committed an act of war without a declaration of war from Congress, like we always
No,
do.
I'm not but what I'm saying is we didn't. I think that's the thing that's changed, like in the internet age and shit. It's like we, the people, are clearly not okay
right.
with that happening.
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
pretty fucking obvious that happened, behind our backs.
Of course.
Oh, whatever.
That, we're still in the country that gets blamed. You can't do anything about that.
Right.
But I think it's a different world from 15 years ago when no one knew who anybody else was, and all you know is that flag hit you.
There's also a lot of
Right.
weird stuff going on with apparently this guy was actually threatening the U.S. embassy and it was to protect American lives, and whether or not that's true, to me, that's a good enough reason.
Well, and the
Apparently,
guy,
let's throw it out there.
Bad guy.
Yeah,
apparently.
let's
Really
throw that
bad
out there.
guy.
Apparently, this good guy, the last thing he did, one of the last things he did that they have in intelligence wise, is that he put bomb vests on kids and put them out in the streets.
Yeah,
So,
no, I'm not saying
Oh,
that
so
he's
he's
not
not
Mr.
like
Rogers.
a stellar guy.
right.
Then
I'm not
Yeah.
saying it's wrong that it happened. I'm just saying that the fear of it sparking World War III because it happened, I think, is a little
that's
extreme.
ludicrous. Yeah, if World War III is not going to be that easy. No one cares about what fucking America does. Let's be honest.
well, it's not going to be.
No World War has started because of America. I'll go on record and say
You
that.
don't look too
And I
sure
think
about that. buddy.
I also think we talked about this before. It's not going to be fought with bullets, tanks, and bombs. It's going to be over the internet. It's going to be power grids. It's going to be EMPs. It's going to be shutting down electronics and causing people to go back into the Stone Age.
But then you think about it, and not to roast the Iranian government or anything, but they don't have the chops to keep up with us in a
also kind
cyber
of terrifies
attack.
me what we're going to do.
Well,
Like I don't want another.
The thing I'm worried about that another Japan or something.
Yeah,
like that.
I don't want that.
Another
I don't wish
Japan?
that on anybody.
another
Like I hear
Nagasaki
people.
and all that.
I hear people talking like, you know, you have your hardcore
Turn
war
it to
people.
glass and
yeah, and they're
walk
like
away.
blow it to glass, and it's like,
Like,
don't
no.
do that. There's a lot of
No, no,
innocent
no.
people there who have nothing to do with it. Just like here in the U.S., we have nothing to do with that airstrike.
Right.
Don't take it out on them.
Yeah, I mean, war is terrible. No matter how you cut it, it would be better not to have one. And I know the embassy was being attacked over there, and I also heard that the embassy was fully armed and could totally defend itself. Like if they would have really started to come in, they would have just been blown
See,
up.
that detail makes my theory make even more sense.
That we really-
Impeachment shit going down.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Distraction tactics.
Well, not only that,
That's
but
100%
no
what it
president's
is.
been voted out of office during a war. So if he starts a war, he'll get voted back in.
Oh, he wasn't.
for sure.
He wasn't voted out to begin with. He got half.
No, but
impeached.
no, but
No,
what
what I'm
Casey's
saying,
saying is it guarantees
in
his spot.
Yeah,
For the
it
next-
guarantees
for the next
him being
election this
reelected in
year's-
2020.
Oh, sure. Well, the left has almost done that, you know.
Yeah.
But fucking, well, and that's another thing too.
Butt fucking.
Everybody. Well, then we might as well go ahead and say a lot of assholes. Sorry, and I know that's some edit because some of my friends are those assholes. Oh fuck, edit again. Maybe I won't edit that
Hey
out.
Spence, do you have a bunch of asshole friends?
I
Do you hate
do
your
actually.
friends?
I want you guys to know if you disagree with me on this, I still love you, but you're fucking wrong.
Well, and you are what you eat, so.
Everybody got mad at Tulsi Gabbard for not voting to impeach Trump when the impeachment vote came. She also didn't vote not to. She just voted present. And she explained because the more votes he gets to get impeached, it's going to strengthen his chances of getting reelected. Nobody understood that, and they all claimed that she wasn't on the right side of history and that she
Well,
was
everybody's-
a coward. And I was like, actually, she's the only one I can actually get behind. She's like, if we want Trump out of office, we need to do it at the polls. We need to vote him out of office properly. And she goes, I agree he needs to be out of office, but this is not the way to do it. This is only
Everybody's
going to
so
help.
nearsighted.
So
Like, why are you
nearsighted.
trying to impeach a president that has not even a full year left?
Exactly.
That was my whole thing. This is literally them. It's not to say that it doesn't deserve to happen. That's a different argument. But this happening now is the left throwing a hissy fit.
And that's why she goes, look, this is a partisan effort. This isn't he has done
Exactly.
terrible things, so I can't vote against it. But this is not the way to take him out of office, and this is only going to strengthen his chances of re-election, so I can't vote for it.
Yeah, it's going to piss off his base.
Everybody went stupid about it. And I'm just saying, like, and I had some people go, so what do you think about her now? And I was like, I'm behind her 100%.
Yeah.
I still agree with everything she says. Sorry if you don't like that, but
That's confirmation bias too. That's those people saying that, or they've wanted to find reasons to not like her.
everything is confirmation bias these days. It's sad.
You know what? All this just sounds like a bunch of white folk up to no good.
Up to no good. Let me tell you another confirmation bias. I heard this is not war related, but you know how people are you're starting to see like paper straws and metal straws. Somebody at work the other day had a cup with like a big metal straw coming out of it, and I was like, "Ooh, that looks weird." And anyway, I saw a statistic recently. This girl was talking about. She goes, "Just so you guys know."
I saw that.
Do you see that on Instagram Live
I
or
haven't
whatever?
seen this
Like,
at all.
oh my god.
The girl goes, "Just so you guys know." They're trying to take paper or plastic straws away, and the elderly population is suffering because a lot of them, that's the only way they can drink soup and do certain things like that. And metal straws are bad for their teeth, and it's just terrible, terrible, terrible. And it turns out that plastic straws only make up for 0.03%,
0.003.
0.03 of the pollution in the ocean, where 46% of the fucking pollution in the ocean
Metal.
is fishing equipment.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah. So no stricter guidelines about fishing and all that kind of stuff, but they're trying to take away plastic straws, which don't hurt the ocean at all.
You get
And they make Starbucks cups real weird and
that
gross.
gets
It
into
sucks. Fuck.
Well, no one likes drinking out of a fucking paper straw.
I hate it. I fucking hate it.
If I wanted
and
to
it's
do-
not helping anything. And that kills more trees.
Yeah.
Confirmation bias. Boom. They saw that
talking
one
about
fucking video of that turtle with a
distraction
straw in its
tactics
nose.
as well, though.
Yeah, that fucking turtle was snorting coke, and
Fuck that turtle.
fuck that turtle.
Listen, I'd fuck a turtle. Fuck it right up.
Quit talking about my grandma.
I can't help that my little turtle dove.
Blood Dad 5.
Blood Dad 5.
Grandma turtle.
Fuck the turtles.
Grandma turtle.
Caramel
God.
gooey center.
No, don't. No gooey. Don't.
But no,
gooey.
but it's
This
It makes
even
me think of. It makes me think of the truth.
even this podcast has to have limits. Nothing gooey. There's
I'm
no.
on it.
It's
There's
like,
no such thing.
Don't, Hunter. There's no gooey.
I already did.
it's all these
So moist.
oh my god. It's all these like clever statistics. You know what I mean? Like if you frame things a certain way, then your statistic sounds much better. Like,
Exactly.
it's a thing that happens all the time. Like with like new drugs, they're like, it really works only in 30% of people, right? But if they drop the margin of error down, or if they say that its effectiveness, or if they drop the effectiveness like benchmark, like 80 from 95% to like 80%, then it will work on not just 30% of people, but it'll work on like 80. So then they can say
Right.
it works on 80% of people, but they don't have to include the fact that it's like shittier overall.
Right.
If that makes sense. So there's a lot of stuff
100%.
like that
The
happens.
spin, they put a spin on it. Or if it only works on 30% of people, but the previous version of the drug only worked on 15% of people, they can say twice as
50%
effective
more,
as
yeah.
the previous best-selling
Exactly.
product, like.
And that sounds much better. It's marketing.
Yeah.
You know, they're marketing their statistics up.
And hey, more power to that. Like, there's got to be somewhere. There's a guy, and it's his job to find a way to sell this. And I mean, hey, I give credit to guys like that.
You know what? No, fuck you. Random guy listening.
You don't like that guy.
You're the problem.
You want the
You know
truth.
what? You know what I'd love to find out.
You don't want the good news. You want the truth. No good news.
What I would absolutely love to find out, or make it like a bullshit lie to get people to quit the fight over oil, is to be like, did you know oil actually helps tectonic plates shift quieter so there's less earthquakes?
Dude, I'd believe it.
You should totally float that out there.
And just start floating it out there and telling people that. So they're like, fuck oil. Let's go all electric. All electric cars. It's like, yeah, that's what we should do, because oil, tectonic plates.
I'll
earthquakes.
argue with you on electric cars, because you know what generates that electricity? Coal mines. Coal mines, fossil fuels, generate the electricity most of the time. It's not sustainable.
What about batteries?
Batteries are fucking created with lithium, which is a metal in the earth, not very common, and acids, which pollute the earth
Yeah,
as well.
but those also don't. They don't help.
Also,
they
the
help the
machines,
tectonic plates.
the
shift.
motherfucker.
Oil.
The machines that are used to
Yeah, but
create
oil.
batteries are also run off of fossil
He's like, if you
fuels.
bury enough batteries on one tectonic plate,
Then
it's
eventually-
gonna dip down, and the other ones can slide over it
Yeah.
easier.
Yeah, bro.
Right. That's
Yeah.
how we get rid of California.
Exactly.
Yeah, if we just put
Dump it in the
enough
water.
Yeah, if they get enough electric cars, California's basically all electric cars now. You get a couple more, it's just going to sink down into the
It's
ocean.
electric cars and hippie shit.
It's like you know what they say? 1 pound of Earth is lighter than 1 pound of batteries.
I've heard that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not the
Yeah.
same pound.
It's not.
No. Yeah.
There's,
It's a
there's a
ground-
battery pound.
It's a ground and pound.
a ground and pound.
Ground and pound.
That's.
Don't you bring up my grandmother.
I wasn't gonna.
Your sweet turtle.
We only do the ground and pound if the
Sweet
wife
turtle
alert don't
dove?
work. When she can't get up.
It's okay, Casey. My brother's an EMT. He can fix her.
That's all right. Just tell him I'll be over Saturday with your mom.
What a
There's a lot of
nasty web I'm caught in here. God.
Yeah. I wasn't even gonna take that opportunity.
Blood Dad 6, Nasty Web.
Bloodbath 6.
Man, spunk.
The nasty web.
God damn it.
Oh man, I'm dying.
This might be the funniest episode.
Why
I've
are we
I've
at-
watched so
Oh man, I'm
far.
dying.
We're at 6 episodes.
You got me with that ground and pound remark.
Isn't that the
man.
name of Blood Dad's new single?
You took me off. You took me off of the radar with that one.
It's the soundtrack to ground
Ground and Pound?
to the 6th movie, whatever it was called.
Oh, Tangle. Nasty Web. Blood Dad 6, Nasty
You
Web.
know how like Dead Mouse has a helmet and Marshmallow
Yeah.
has a helmet? I think Blood Dad should have red cotton wrapped around his face.
Oh, God.
What's wrong?
That like splotchy, like dark red shit,
Yeah,
like
just
bloody
little
bandages.
here and here.
I go to a hospital. I'm like, don't throw those away.
Those aren't actually blood.
We're about to rage.
I need them for my.
Where are my
My
turntables?
I'm on my way to Coachella. Blood Dad.
Oh, did you hear how much Coachella tickets are this year?
I don't give a fuck.
$350.
$429.
$429.
Yeah.
Dude, look, I would love to see Rage Against the Machine back together, but not for $400 fucking dollars.
What stops
it's
you from going for
$429.
free? Realistically,
I don't know. There's got to be like a fence or something.
yeah, but like, surely you could climb it.
There's
right?
a lot of hippie shit. Listen, California, I don't know if you know this or not. California, people just take shits wherever they want, apparently, in
That's
California.
amazing.
Like, if you go in San Francisco, no shit. This is
No shit?
a legitimate thing. No shit. If you go walk around San Francisco and you see shit on the ground, it's more likely to be a human pile of shit than a dog's pile of shit.
Really? People just drop trout in the
Can
park?
you taste test that?
Yeah, Hunter.
I mean,
go for it.
you probably
bud.
could.
You'd probably die from diabetes, but
I'm already on the way.
Oh, this guy ate a lot of donuts. Ooh. Oh, locking up. Oh, whoa. Oh, man.
Who knew eating shit would come back to bite me?
If I went to San Francisco, I would just go eat shit.
And die.
I mean, honestly, eat shit and die. Isn't eat shit worse enough? Like, do you have to eat shit and die?
I mean,
like
why
if
don't you
you-
just
that
eat
really
shit?
puts the icing on the cake. If your day's not already bad enough.
Or the shit on the dead.
Or if you eat shit and die, who cares that you ate shit? You died.
Well,
Dad.
I don't know. At my funeral, if someone was like, he died as he lived,
Eating
eating
shit.
shit, I'd be like,
And then he kicked your
Blood dad.
casket over and you ate shit and just dumped all over.
or I wasn't dead yet.
Yeah. I have the greatest idea for a video now where Grant's in
Is
a
it going to be
casket.
called the poo-poo platter?
No, Grant's in a casket, and then everyone's walking by
I hate
saying
her
like
doo-doo
awful
bag.
things about Grant, and then someone at the very end walks up and goes, "He died as he lived, eating shit," and then it cuts back to Grant, who's been somber the entire time. Now he's smiling, and there's shit all over his teeth.
Oh.
Can it be your grandma?
Dude.
Yeah, sure.
Yo, melt down some like Hershey's Kisses or something. Pour it in my mouth. I'll do it.
No,
I'll
yeah.
even like look up at the camera and go, yes, and like have it like spray all over my face.
Now I have to do this. How much are caskets?
Oh, man.
Does anybody have a free one we can borrow?
Blood Dad.
We could probably make one out of plywood. Probably wouldn't be too bad.
Blood Dad.
Yeah, but I want a good casket. I don't want to put you in like the fucking
I
village.
think the real ones are like 10
Bloody
grand.
blood,
Yeah.
blood,
There's something
bloody
crazy.
Just borrow one.
No, that's what I was saying. Can I rent
Dig
the
it up?
casket and dirty it up?
If you dig it up,
If
it's already
anybody
done
out there
for
is
you.
willing to rent a casket, get in touch with Beacon House.
I guess we could
Gmail.
rent a casket and then put saran wrap in the casket, and then that way, whatever we dirty
Then
up,
Grant
we
can just
take
spit shit everywhere.
Oh,
you just
yeah.
spit shit everywhere.
Does somebody have a loved one that you want relocated? Oh, God. And you're willing to let us borrow your casket for a few hours one Saturday afternoon? Please don't hesitate to contact any of us at the Beacon House.
It'll be melted chocolate, not shit.
Blood Dad 7, Grave Robber.
Blood Dad 7.
Blood Dad.
Hey, there's
Great
there's
Robin,
tons of
Robin
caskets.
Dad
Or,
rapes.
we just go get one in the middle of the night.
Dad.
They're free. I mean, realistically, put in the elbow grease, you know? That's a free casket.
First, there was a nasty web.
Good one, Hunter.
Can't do it.
This has devolved into. This has just been.
It always does.
This has gotten guttural.
That's what happens when Grant comes on.
I love it. Thank you so much for coming on, Grant.
Thank you so much for having me twice.
Nasty web.
This is
3?
the fourth time.
4? Oh,
This
wait.
is the fourth time we've had you on, and probably the second time this month.
Hey.
If I had to guess,
Because every time we get a backup episode, Hunter's like, "I can't do next Sunday."
No, I usually wait a Sunday in between.
this is the part where we talk shit about Hunter.
Yeah. What do you got?
Or like a
Blood
bird
Dad.
craps on his porch, and he's like, "I don't feel like it's safe
Dude, they
to go
shit all
out."
over my car.
Somebody on the Weather Channel
Hunter's
said
like-
something
Hunter's
about
like,
I'm
Guys-
very sensitive to the
Hunter's
weather.
like, "You guys, I'm not coming today. I went outside. I saw a dog. I'm just going to stay in."
my premonitions this morning were not good.
Yeah.
The blood dice did not fall
we're getting
where
at,
they
what we're
should.
getting at is Hunter doesn't like to go out sometimes, but he comes up with the worst excuses to come up for.
Here's the thing. Why not just say that
Saw
you
a
don't want to
car
go out?
Sink in the water.
You saw
in
a
front
car
of me.
sink in the water.
I drove through hail to be here, and
I
you were
was
like,
gonna
"It's
too, and then
raining.
I
I'm
saw the
not
car.
coming."
Hey,
in front of
you
me
drove through. You drove through.
underwater.
You drove through hail or high water.
Okay, that's done. I'm
I
done
think
with that.
we've gone past the point of no
Blood
return.
Dad at it again with the dad jokes.
Blood Bad 8.
Blood
Did your
Dad.
haircut? No, I
Blood
got them all
Bad.
cut.
Blood Bad.
Blood Bad?
Blood Bad.
Blood Bad is the son of Blood Dad. Son of Blood Dad. Blood Bad.
He went inside Blood Dad.
Oh, man.
He saw a mouse, Blood Dad. He went inside Blood Dad.
Blood Dad.
Blood Dad. Blood Dad. Blood Dad. Blood Dad.
Blood.
Blood Dad. A feather falls from the sky. Blood Dad. Blood Dad. Today he's not your guy. Blood Dad. Blood Dad.
Blood Dad.
Tire went flat.
Tire went flat.
Can we stop?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, no.